Hi friends at Bunny Hollow Crafts. Please excuse my voice. I'm getting over a bad cold. We did get COVID tested and it was negative. What great news. Yes, I'm doubly immunized and we did get the booster, so it's just a bad cold. It's probably going to turn into bronchitis. I sure hope not. All right, I had some questions about my Christmas mini from a couple years ago. It was an 8x8, and so I thought I'll just start a project. I could surely use a project. So I've cut 2 chipboards to 8x8. Our spine is going to be 3x8. So when you cut your 8x8, save it because it'll be long. You'll have a piece of extra, and it's already the right length. So you just need to cut it to 3 inches wide. So to cover this, I'm going to use 65-pound cardstock, 3 pieces of it. I'm going to take one, and we'll try not to snort on you. I'm sorry, I'm just getting over this. But last night I did not cough much through the night, so that was a good sign. All right, so I'm just going to use score tape and put it on the side or the edge. You could do this with glue if you wanted. My glue is probably stuck in the lid because I've been sick and not been able to craft, so I'll just use tape. I'm going to put these videos up as I record them because I know myself. I'd love to start with a finished project, but this will push me to actually finish. So hope you can bear with and know that it'll turn out pretty cute, I hope. All right, so I'm going to take off with my pokey tool one edge, just a little bit. Fold it this way, miss. Always get that backwards. And just put these on there. They don't have to be particularly straight or whatever. Just get it on there. You're going to have extra space. So just stick them down. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Go that way. I always get things backwards. Okay, something like that. It's not particularly straight, but it won't matter. All right. So as you can see, if we put our spine in the middle, we do have plenty of space. So I'm going to cover these with score tape. I'm going to use my wide one, and I'll get back to you and we'll put it down. All right, score tape is on. I'm going to burnish it really well because that helps with releasing the tape and also, making sure it's stuck down well. You can see I went over there and there. It won't matter. Okay, I have something rattling on my desk. Let me move it. It's a stapler. You sit down there and be quiet. Okay, so the burnishing part is very important. All right, when you start this process, you want your spine to go in the middle. And then this is the one that everything else, if it's going to be straight or crooked, depends on this. So what I want to do is get it height-wise. I want it, something in the middle of here and there, and just get it as straight as I can. But I'm not going to worry about it too much because we do have extra paper, right? So a little bit won't matter as long as the other two are correct. So this one sets the tone. Again, it's 3x8. And I'm just going to sit it down. It's just not a big deal. Just sit it down. Okay, you could do this with glue. I've done that before because I see other people do it. But to me, the album makes noise. You can just hear it like it's not, I don't know, I just didn't like it. So with this one, I'm going to go ahead and take them all off. Actually, before I do that, let me show you a trick I use to help get it straight. I want to lay it on there about where I want it, right? All the tape is not exposed, so I can lay it down. And I want to leave about, not an eighth, but certainly not a quarter. Something like that, right? Would be about right. So I'm going to take my pencil, which has escaped me. Okay, hold on. Okay, pencil is found. Sorry about that. All right, so get it on there fairly straight where you like it. And then I'm going to draw a line here and there. It'll just help when you can sort of see where you're going. Okay, so now I'm going to just take off all the tapes. If you do it from here, you don't get your fingers in it. I always forget my own lessons. Come on. Okay, this is the one that went over. All I'm going to do is take my finger and push the tape back. All right? Do the same with this one because it also went over. All right, tape. Sorry, I'm going to try not to sniff. It must sound terrible over the... Okay. One more to go. All right, now I can see that tape's over too. We'll just push that back. Now I like to come in at an angle, and I can see my lines. Well, I can see the bottom one anyway, so I'll line up to the bottom line. And just watch this to try to make sure this is straight, and just lay it down. Okay? It's really, just do a few of these and it becomes very simple for you. So I'm going to burnish that down, slide this all down, and do the same thing with this piece. I think I will draw my line. That did help just a little bit. So it'll be something like that. And actually it was the bottom line that helped. You want to get this pretty lined up as you can, but I just eyeball it. Okay, this one. Sorry. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now, but I sure do need a project, and I sure do appreciate the sweet comments. Okay, so all the tape is off, so be very careful. Come in at an angle like that. I'm looking for my bottom line. Just get it where you feel pretty comfortable, that it is even, and then just lay it down. Hold on to this part over here. Just lay it down. Okay, easy as that. Now I like to turn it over and just burnish it really well. Just make sure it's really stuck down. Okay, you can see, I don't know if you can see that marks there that this put on there. Won't matter because, of course, this is going to get covered with paper, right? So don't worry about little things like that. All right, my next step is to bend it. Bend it forward. And then I'm going to bring it towards me and bend it this way. And then on this side, it's just too tall to stand up. So I'm going to take my score tool that has this very flat edge. You could also do it with this if you wanted. You could do it with an old debit card, credit card. Just pull it up and just kind of push against there. There we go. I'll turn it around, do the same thing on this end. Okay, and you do want those stuck down because you need those lines that'll create. You need that line to be a guide. All right, I'm going to take scissors and cut the edge because I don't want to waste tape, right? You only need about an inch, inch and a half, so I'm just going to cut it down. You don't have to worry about being particularly straight because, of course, this is going to get covered up as well. So I'm going to do this side as well. All right. Next step is to put score tape all around. You could do it with glue if you wanted. Actually, I think I'll cut my corners because I can do that. I won't be cutting away tape so much. You just want to cut. I hope you can see that. You just leave about the same amount that you left in between there. There's guides you can buy. I don't have it. I've just learned over time that you don't. It's not really difficult. I was always intimidated by it, but you just have to do things sometimes to realize it's going to work out. All right, so I'm going to take my score tape and put it all around here, and then I'll come back. Okay, change my camera angle with the help of my son. Alrighty, score tape is on. I've burnished it down well, and I'm going to start with the long side. So just release your tape. Go ahead and take it all off. And this is just Becky's method. I'm going to take my glue. I tested it. I got it to come out, so yay. So one thing I think is very important is putting a bead of glue right against the bottom of the chipboard. Since I've started doing this, I've had no problems with cracking of albums. So I'm going to go over it twice. And then also up in the corner where there's no tape, and then right through there where I didn't get tape. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it. Find my score tool that I used a minute ago, that one. And since we've already pre-bended, this goes up pretty easy. And you could also do this with the other tools. You could find something old, credit card, debit card. But that just starts the process. And to me, if you just take your time, I think it's a lot of fun. So just start in the middle, bend forward, and then bend out, and bend out. And then burnish down really well. Okay, so there, and there's glue coming out, but I don't mind that. I keep a towel or something to clean up. Okay. So same drill, take off your tapes. Okay, glue right in the edge, right against the chipboard. Okay, and where there's no tape, all right, I'll go right there. All right, turn it to my side with my tool. Just push that paper against the edge of that chipboard. Again, just taking my time. It only takes doesn't take really long to make an album cover once you've done a few. So push down from the middle, out to the sides, out to that side. All right, and then burnish really well. Okay, now you want to take your score tool. Where is mine? There it is. And you can see where this line is. You just need to score gently. You don't want to break through, which reminds me I did not use Tyvek in this album. Sometimes I've been doing that. But you can get that to bend. And you never want to go further than straight up. You don't need to go over that direction. So score there. And bend up. Okay, now it's time to bend in our corners. So you just take your thumb, or I do, and just bend it forward. It's not going to be pristine, but it's going to be very nice. Just push it in. And push it down. Get it to go straight out. Straight out. Okay, so to remove your tapes. Okay, a little glue right against the chipboard. Okay, and then tool, just push it forward against the chipboard, and then just push it down. That's tape off of my desk, that black. Where's my towel? Yeah, see, that one's not my most beautiful corner, but again, just kind of go that way, straighten her out. All right, black thing off of there. Easier said than done. Go away, my friend. Okay, oops. All right, so same drill here. Let's just do this quickly. Okay, tape is off. Push in your corners. Okay, release your tapes, or I did that already, glue. Sorry, there's a guy outside. Didn't expect, but he's working on the hot tub here. Okay, you can probably hear him. No worries. All right, so bend up, push it against, and then just lay it down. Give it a nice push. I usually do have glue on these sides because I usually do, you know, it's a smaller space, and I usually get glue up in there. All right, so that is down. Next thing to do is create our hinge. All right, to start creating the hinge, we first need to know how tall our pages are going to be. My pages are going to be 7.5 by 7.5. So your hinge needs to be shorter than your page so that the page can fit onto the hinge. So if my pages are 7.5, I'm just going to reduce it by an inch and cut these at 6.5. These are 2 more pieces of 8.5 by 11, 65 pound. So I'm going to cut the length, the width, gosh, there I go again, to 6.5. Doesn't have to be exact, you just need it about an inch shorter. Okay, so I just cut both of those at the same time. So now we need our scoreboard, and I'll show you how quick and easy this really is. Okay, in creating a hinge, I'm going to move my light, see if that'll help a little bit. I don't know if it does or not. Trying to get this right for you guys. This is a new setup, so we'll see. So when you're creating a hinge, it usually does take 2 pieces, so just set that one aside. Put it in your scoreboard. I always like to start with at least 2.5 inches, sometimes 3. This is the piece that will attach to the inside front cover. This will start your spine, right? This is where the hinges will be. And then we're going to leave space on the other end that's also 2.5 inches. So to get going, we'll just start at 2.5. That's just a good measure. All right, you need a gusset between every page, before and after. So before every page, and in my world, I keep it all even with 1/2 inch gussets. So if I'm at 2.5, I'm going to go to 3. So a 1/2 inch gusset, and then my page hinge is actually an inch. I know that's a little wide, but it doesn't matter, and it's an even number. I just find it easier. So if I'm at 3, I'm going to go to 4, and from 4 to 5, because you need 2 of these to create 1 hinge, right? So after your page, which is an inch, you need another 1/2 inch. So from 5 to 5.5. All right, now we start another page. So for 5.5, we'll go to 6.5 and 7.5 because you need 2 of them. And after this, we need another 1/2 inch. Whoops, 1/2 inch. Okay, so from 8, we're at 8, so we go to 9, and we can go to 10. And we have enough room for a 1/2 inch gusset. So we'll take this piece of paper and attach it over here to make this longer because we're not going to have enough. Let's count. This is 1 page, 2, 3, and we need 2 more. That's a 2. That's a weird 3. All right, I'm going to put a little glue on here. And I'm just going to set this piece of paper right on top, almost to the score line, but not covering it. Looks like my pages aren't quite cut evenly, even though I cut them at the same time. That is bizarre. All right, so it won't matter. It will not matter. So just give that a minute to grab. All right, so back into the scoreboard. Set my glue aside. Probably should be a good idea to put the pin back in it. Okay, so back into the scoreboard. I'm going to fix this 1/2 inch. If you can see right there, I didn't really score all the way to the top. And don't worry about where it's off. We can trim it later. So I'm going to put that line at 4 so I can rescore my 1/2 inch and get that up there, right? So now, I'm wondering if I should cut that first. I'm not gonna. Now we're at 4.5, right? Get that score line on 4.5. We're ready for our full page width. So we're going to go from 4.5 to 5.5, which is right there. 5.5 to 6.5. Score that one again. Now we need a 1/2 inch gusset, so we go to 7. From 7 to 8 for another page, and for 8 to 9 to another page, and then another 1/2 inch gusset. So that gives us, that's 4, and this is 5. So we're done, because it's going to be a 5-page album. So now I'm going to make a mark 2.5 inches further, which would be 10 to 11 to 11.5. Is that 2.5? Go a little further. Doesn't really matter. And I'm going to cut there. All right. Okay, with scoreboard, I'm going to put this in here at that score mark, and I'm just going to trim that down. Put that scrap away. Now, I wanted to trim that. It probably won't really matter. I don't think it's going to matter at all. I'm going to leave it, and we'll see. We'll do this as a test. All right, so turn it sideways. You want to fold the 2-inch pieces together. Okay? Just like that. Fold it down, fold it backwards. You really want those to be nice and smooth. It's as simple as that. Take your next one, fold it up. Now you have 2 of them. Fold them together, down. Score them or burnish them really well. That way and this way. It gets them used to turning, because these are going to be what's turning your pages in the book. So just easy as it goes. Just the next one. It's our 3rd page. Push it down, push it back. Push it all that way. Okay, here's our next one. And this is where it's a little long. I don't think it's going to matter. If it bothers you, you could trim it off, but we're going to... most things get covered up and you don't even see them. So, see if it bothers me. I'm a little OCD. It probably will bother me. All right, so there's 4. And here's our last one. Really pretty easy when you think about it. If you just take it in slow little increments and work with it. There you go. Fold them all down. Burnish really well. Go that way with them. Burnish. Okay, so there's our 5 pages, 5 hinges. Now we need to go through, and I'm going to use score tape and glue all these together. See right there. Glue in there. Or tape. I'm going to use tape, I think. So I'm going to pull out my 1/2 inch. Where did it go? This is not 1/2 inch. Okay, let me trim that edge, because that's from where I cut the pages, or the cover. All right, so you just want to take a piece of score tape. You could do it with glue. You want to put it up near the score line. And just burnish it really well. I would do them all at one time, but I'm going to take it off just to show you. Just take it off, and then because it's already been folded so many times, it just folds right to where it needs to go. All right? And burnish it down really well. Okay, I'm going to put score tape on the rest of these, and then we'll bend them together. Okay, so all the score tape is on. You can see, if you want to find a rhythm or a pattern, it's before a gusset. See, right there, before a gusset, and before a gusset, before a gusset, and there. It could kind of be a pattern for you, but it's just easy to fold the 2 1-inch segments. Okay, so tape off. And just bend it forward. I'm going to cough, so I'm going to turn off the video right now. Hold on. Okay, excuse that, but it's probably the way this is going to go. All right, tape off, fold forward, bend it down. Tape off, bend it forward. It just it just goes, and as I've said probably in every video that I've made showing a hinge, I like it because there's a set of rules, and you follow the rules, it's going to work out. It's just not subjective in the least. Like, you know, when you put this down into the book, that's subjective. You got to get that straight in there. But creating this, there's a set of rules. All right, so there's our hinge. Fold that down really good. Get them going. There we go. Let's stick her in the book. Let's pull it over and just do it. So when I'm putting it in the book, I want to center it between these two lines. And these score lines that we made before and after, you see you still have your half-inch gusset line right there and right there. They kind of match up with those lines, which can help you stay straight. So once I have it, you want this one the same length from there and this one the same length. You want to get it good and centered. That part is all subjective. But you want to get it straight, because if it's crooked, your pages are going to go crooked, right? So when I think it's straight, and I'm just eyeballing it, I'm going to take my pencil and draw a line right there. Also right there. And at the top and the bottom. This will just give me a little basis of where I'm going to put this. I'm going to put score tape all over the back of it, and I'll be back with you. Tape is on. It's getting ready to come off. Well, the back is coming off. All right, so we have our lines down there to guide us. Top and bottom, side to side. Let's just do it. What I like to do is take off 1 or 2 pieces from one end to get started. I'm going to put a little glue down there because I got that tape a little bit short. Come on, glue. Okay, that's going to be a mess, but better there than not at all. Okay, so with holding the tape end up, I'm going to set this side to that line. I'm also going to find the line on the bottom and the line on the top. I'm going to hold it up. You can see I scooted away from my line. When you think you have it top to bottom, side to side straight, just lay it down. Let me get my towel because I know that glue is going to be coming out down there. Now, I was going to address cutting where it wasn't even right there, it's longer, and I forgot. But it won't matter. It won't matter. So now you can pull it up, reach in there, and pull off that piece of tape. That one's the hardest to get off because it's kind of close. But then the rest of them come off pretty easy. Just make sure you hold this up tight. You don't want to drop it. I've dropped it before. And that is not good. Now here, I did some little pieces because I got crooked. I could have used tape as well, or glue, but I had the little tape, so I just filled in with it. Wait a minute. Oh, that's sticky. Okay, it looked like the tape is a little bit old, so I don't know. I've had it for a while. All right, so the last one's off. I thought I saw, I'm going to do that. Tape is over right there. I'm going to bend that back. So just make sure everything is good and kosher, you know. Clean that off, make sure there's nothing under there. And then we're just going to pull it straight up and straight across and lay it down. Okay? Take your finger and run in between every hinge. Burnish that down really well. Where's my burnishing tool? Okay, there they are. They're in the book. Run them back and forth because they got to get used to, you know, turning. But there they are. We can erase the line. I missed that line. It's probably a little low, but it really doesn't matter in the scheme of things. All right, close is good enough. Okay? It's a little crooked too. This is going to work out. I can see my errors already. but, work through those. All right, I'm going to take my score tool, big end, and score again on that hinge so we can get that to bend up. Okay? Same thing on this side. And just bend it up. So there's our album. A little dirty from my desk, but we're going to cover all these things up, right? No cracking, nothing wrong. Hinges in there and ready to make pages. Yeah, I could have got that straighter. But, every album is different. So let's make some pages. All right, thank you for watching. My Mac is messed up, so I had to do this with my iPhone. But this will be just the first of the videos, and I will continue in the next few days, and we'll make the pages. Thank you for watching. You guys stay safe. Stay well. Thanks for watching.